ready to go now?
Ready.
So welcome to Tate's Hell. It's not hell actually, it's pretty nice. It's really comfortable out, like in the 50s last night. The van was great. In fact, I'm ready to make coffee now. So Tate's Hell really isn't hell these days. Tate probably thought it was hell. I can imagine it would have been in the summer. Our van was quite comfortable, made the evening very nice. The campground was clean, and it wasn't really too heavily populated. Once we got ourselves together and took the dirt road out, we hit the local highway and headed over to Apalachicola for some breakfast. The hurricane damage from Michael was really, really awful. In fact, the construction seemed like it would never end. It finally did break open, and we made it a few miles down the road, crossed a number of bridges, and went over the main bridge into Apalachicola. First thing we did was head over to Cafe Con Leche, which was this really great Venezuelan South American restaurant. The food was fantastic. I probably had some things I shouldn't have had, but also they had arepas, were they're one of my favorite things, and the coffee. Let me show you this. After the coffee, we went ahead and did a little walking tour and found this place. I don't know if it was a bicycle shop or some sort of torpedo shop, but nevertheless, it exists. So the Raney House provided a great opportunity for some local history about Apalachicola and the markets and industries that made Apalachicola a real big deal. The architecture of the home is quite fascinating. In fact, the home served as a funeral home for many years, and you can still see the doors that the caskets and bodies used to come through. Through the back door here is a kitchen detached from the main home, primarily to prevent fire from destroying the main home. It was a great little museum. It had a lot of artifacts in it, some things from the period, and I'd recommend seeing it. Not too bad. So on the way back along the coast, the hurricane damage really became very evident. This tidal surge, it washed up just so many things. It made it quite difficult in some areas, not to pass, but you certainly had to take caution because there were boats and all kind of debris. left everywhere. In fact, we parked along the road and took a look. Right now I'm just across the water from St. Vincent Island, which is another trip that I want to do. I want to go see the red wolves there. Right now, because of the hurricane, and because this is only a few day trip that we are on, she's right there, I'm not going to be able to go over there. Plus I need to get a hitch for the van and grab the canoe and canoe across the water over to the island, if it's permissible, which I think you can do. In the meanwhile, I'll shoot some more video here and then head back. We're going to be hiking in a few minutes, maybe about an hour, and then it's a surprise though, so don't say anything, please. Some other type of dog along the beach here, I suppose, just across the waterway on St. Vincent Island, that the same prints can be found, but probably a little more indicative of the red wolf. So that is St. Vincent Island, and you can get there by boat, paddling. And that's where I intend to take another trip. I doubt we'll see any wolves, but I do want to paddle over there. At least try to find some evidence that the red wolves are there, which we know they are. They survived the hurricane, but a lot of things did not, like roadways. The roadways were a big problem. There's Karen in the van. So we finally got to High Bluff hiking trail, which was well marked. It was right off the highway along the Gulf, very close to Tate's Hell, and on the way to Crystal River, our ultimate destination. This trail was really kind of neat. In fact, I saw my first snipe, which honestly I thought was a bird that was mystical, and you sent people into the forest to go find snipe, but there really weren't snipe, and it was kind of like a joke. Well, apparently there are snipe. This trail was really made completely different by the hurricane. It had been cleaned up, trees had been removed, cut out of the way, but it really was ravaged by the winds, and I'm sure the storm surge. Nevertheless, it was quite a beautiful place along the way, and we were quite happy to see it and move on. So we are here at Crystal River Archaeological Site. It's going to be pretty neat. A lot of Indian mounds, prehistoric Indians, and had a pretty good drive. No real excitement, although it kind of rained the entire time and there was a ton of fog. But this should be pretty fun. Very informative. I think the last time I was here it was during the 1970s, and from what I understand, from what I recall, a lot of the middens and the burial mounds were exposed at that time, meaning that a lot of the actual burials were exposed to view, bones, the remains of the people that were here. Since that time, I believe the tribes have basically said, no, you can't do that. Those are ancestors. You need to put that away. But the museum remains the same. Hopefully there's a lot of informative information inside, and we look forward to seeing it. So we'll take you along. So Crystal River, the museum and the grounds that the Indian mounds are still on, although they've been destroyed in some cases, or at least tampered with, really is an incredible museum. If you're interested in Native American artifacts, they are in this museum. They've got it laid out into historical periods, from everything from arrowheads, which you can see there, to points and ornaments, those type of things, even dugout canoes. It's a great museum, and it's something that every Floridian should probably try to visit. The grounds are, as I said, in place, although the mounds have, in some cases, been destroyed or tampered with. But they hold a lot of artifacts, things that the Indians used to eat, bones, ceramic type of pottery, all kinds of things. In fact, there are a couple middens that are quite high. You actually need stairs to get to the top, almost like you'd see in Mexico. And there is some argument as to whether the Mayan Indians, the Mayans, traveled to Florida and actually lived here. So not sure about that. It does make a little sense. But anyway, some more footage here, at least pictures of the mounds. And they're really fun to walk around. You have to stay on the path. You can't just walk everywhere you want. But there is one large mound that offers an opportunity to use a stairway, get to the top, and actually see how high you are. I believe it's about 40 feet. It's really, really quite something. And if you get to this park, again, it's near Tampa, I'd highly recommend visiting and taking time to see everything you can. So we're going to head up the mound. It's 30 feet. It's pretty impressive. Here we go. How you doing?
Knowing that I'm getting up higher makes me a little wobbly. You just make me do my stairs.
That's the ramp that was put in after developers destroyed
Is it?
so much.
I heard that the ramp was built by them.
This is the ramp that was put in after developers destroyed much of this midden. Basically everything below the camera view here has been wiped out, used as landfill. Quite amazing.
Like we're encouraging seed growth.
We're digging up new artifacts. Quite amazing.